All right. Hey, everybody. We are live right now for this episode of Soxy Chicks. We are back on the Sunday schedule. Worked out really well because I had nothing to do because I'm in quarantine. So I didn't have to worry about going anywhere. So that was pretty good.
Yikes. Although the one time I am like, oh yeah, I'm always on schedule. I'm so easygoing. I'm like, oh crap, I just made lasagna and I just sat down to eat it because I lose track of time.
Yeah, no, I know it's totally fine because I needed to finish the last 20 minutes of Ozark, so it worked out pretty well for me because I am way behind on Ozark. But now I'm able to catch up on things while being able to do nothing. So so that's good. Yes, but so let's dive into some things that we've got on our docket. Well, we've got some injuries to start off with. Of course, Mike Trout, because we get an old boy, scratched moments before first pitch yesterday with the lingering back spasms. Doesn't sound great. Missed the last 3 games as well, and he is not going to start in the All-Star game, which is kind of a bummer
Yeah.
because I love seeing Trout out there. That's the one time that fans get things right. That's the best player in baseball. He should be starting the All-Star game.
And I mean, it's already bad enough that he's on a team that's just dead. I mean, there's
People
no
like
life left on that team despite having like two of the best players ever.
Yeah, I think somebody had made the joke. They were like, "Oh man, the Angels could go out and sign Aaron Judge. You could have Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and they'll barely win 70 games." I was like, "That is so true."
It is. It's sad. Like, I don't know what's
Oh,
going on out there, but that is just where players go to end their careers.
it's sad. Yeah. Oh, I guess the Mariners are doing something well. I mean, they're supposed to be good, just like my Red Sox and your White Sox were supposed to be good, but here we are. Your
At
White
least the
Sox are
Mariners are good.
yeah, at least the people in the fine folks of Seattle have finally maybe something to look forward to.
I did have Seattle as like a sleeper pick for
Hmm.
people, like for a team that was going to be good. It was the Tigers and the Mariners. So I was like, they might not make it all the way, but they're a sleeper pick. And so,
Yeah.
I'm
And
happy that I
then
was half right.
yeah, and then the Red Sox are so bad right now, but it's like the the fans are also in the most like ridiculous panic mode that they're like, get rid of Xander, get rid of everybody, sell the whole effing team. And I'm like, are you guys serious? Like, they are literally what, 2 games out of a wild card, and then they're like, you know what? I'm gonna be pissed when they make the playoffs, and then they lose immediately to some shitty team, and then you know what? We got nothing for Xander, and I'm like, oh my god, one. There is no reason to believe that the Red Sox won't figure something out with Xander. They've already signed an extension with him once. Do I think they should be paying him $30? Hell no. But do I think that they could come to something? Yes, I do. And I think they'll figure something out with Devers. They also have a whole goddamn offseason. So I've just really had it up here with Red Sox fans, especially bipolar Red Sox fans, that were like a season ago when the Red Sox like surprised everybody with being good in 2021. And they were like, yo, this is great. Our window to win wasn't until 2023. And I was like, that's what I've been saying. And then they're like, no, they went to the ALCS. They spent money on Trevor Story. They should be winning now. I'm like, even with spending money on Trevor Story, I didn't see them better than the Houston Astros. And that's with the Astros losing everybody, and they're still great. I didn't
But
even see them better than the White Sox. But
no. But
like,
hey,
so
they did acquire someone from the Yankees today. That is Jennifer Lopez. Because apparently
oh, did they
Bennifer
get
is
married?
married now.
Whoa, so they're officially married. Let's see
So
how long this
congrats
lasts.
on getting Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I know she's a Jenny from the block, which is the Bronx, so I hate it. But you know what, A-Rod? You lost. You
I
lost
did.
her. You lost. You lost it at Ben Affleck, like old Ben Affleck, because she had like 2001 Ben Affleck. That's like Ben
Yeah.
Affleck, and then she decided to marry like old post-alcoholic Ben Affleck. So you
I
really
mean,
lost, A-Rod.
I love Ben Affleck either way, and I hear he's like just a terrible person, but that is
I
never
know.
going
Yes,
to
he is.
interrupt
Your
my
love.
love for him. So good for
I
her.
mean, Armageddon Ben Affleck, like, hold me back. Hold me back.
Living
And
out
it's
my dreams.
And it's wild because like Jennifer Garner is supposedly known as like the nicest human being. It's like, was it the idea of like I can fix him type of a situation with her? And then when you realize you can't fix him, it's like, well, now it's the other Jennifer's problem. And I just got 3 really cute kids. So
I think that's why I was attracted, because I'm always like, I can fix this boy. I
of
can do
course
it.
you're like, he's problematic. And it's like, well, now, I mean, maybe he's at a point in his life where he has realized that he is an alcoholic. He has gotten help for it. So maybe this is the time in his life where like he's better, and maybe she actually is good for him. Maybe they're good for each other. So every happiness, and thank you for the acquisition of Jennifer Lopez. So the Red Sox have something good today, I guess.
They do. We'll come right back to those Red Sox. But Luis Severino will likely be out for 2 weeks. He's suffering a low-grade strain. Aaron Boone said it would probably be about 2 weeks. Just kind of getting that time off.
I don't mean to cut you off. I just got a major shock. What? The friggin' Texas Rangers just took Kumar Rocker at 3.
Oh,
yeah, that is a huge shock. So they got the Vandy boys together.
Wow.
That seems like a very risky, dumb move.
Yeah.
That seems very risky and dumb. But okay. Wow, I'm sure Jack Leiter's thrilled. Wow, I'm sorry. I did not mean to cut you off. I looked over and that just shocked the shit out of me because people had him going in the 20s.
This will likely just be a lot of cutting each other off when our notifications come through, because we are live during the draft. So
yeah. Also, like he just went higher than he did last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally, what is Texas doing? Texas has literally no idea what they're doing. This is like when the Angels were like, we need arms. Every pick is going to be an arm. Woo, guys, you can shit on Chaim Bloom all you want. Praise be to Jesus. I'm so glad I got that man running my team, because the hell is going on right now. Woo, I mean, this could work out really well, and they could just be back-to-back studs in that like 1-2 punch, they had at Vandy is going to Texas. I don't know, but that just seems super risky. Okay, anyways, please continue your thought. Apologies.
Oh, I mean, that was it. Aaron Boone said they'll probably be out for 2 weeks. I don't think there's like an injured list stint in place just because of the All-Star break, but
I mean, I hate the Yankees, but that boy's been through a lot.
He has.
So I'm going to feel for him. Yeah, so I'm going to feel for him for sure. Of course, some great news for the Red Sox. Chris Sale met with 106-mile-an-hour Aaron Hicks off the bat, broke his friggin' pinky. And, he wasn't pitching fantastically. I had already given up a couple runs, but, it was his second start back, and it's all about getting the velo up, and then some velo comes right back at you, breaks your fucking hand, and the Red Sox are extra fucked. So I still don't think the Red Sox should blow the whole team off, but because they're still within, and it's tricky because like who's gonna pitch, like Josh Winkowski or Connor Crawford. But at this point, they are in contention with those guys already. So who's to say that like they can't have a good second half with these guys? But yeah, that sucks. That's a huge fucking blow. And I know this isn't his fault, but it's like a combination of like being a person of glass, made of glass, and also being very unlucky, because the fuck, that is 100% just shit luck. Like that is shit luck.
This was his second start of the season. He can't stay healthy to save his life.
Yeah, and they do. They need another starting pitcher if they're gonna think that they can contend. I think that they can contend. I never even said they were gonna win the World Series. So the people that are gonna get mad that like if they make the playoffs and then exit in, let's even say the ALCS again, like no, you still shouldn't have traded Xander Bogaerts. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you can maybe trade Christian Vasquez. Fine. Go ahead, get some value for Christian Vasquez if you think Connor Wong is going to be okay. Go out and get some value for someone else if you think. But you're not trading Xander Bogaerts. I'm sorry.
Build a team around Bogaerts, not...
Absolutely. Devers and Bogaerts should be your mainstays right there. Of course, there are some people that have weird, irrational hatred towards Xander because his power numbers are down. Yeah, the power numbers are down too, but like he's still a really good player. It's not as if he was a guy that hit you 40 home runs anyways.
Yeah.
I don't, so it's like, yeah, they're down and it's a little concerning, but he's still hitting the ball. He's still like getting on base. He's still hitting doubles. Like he's playing good baseball. Like, it's not like he's not. The one you might be concerned about, truthfully, honestly, JD. Like, where did his power numbers go? You want to trade JD? Yeah, maybe I'm okay with that. You don't trade Xander Bogaerts, though.
No. Yeah, that's kind of how White Sox fans are with Yoan Moncada. You either love him or hate him. I'm in camp. I love him. We do need him. There is no other third baseman like him. Sure, Jake Berger was hitting the ball really well before he went on the injured list, but you can't just replace Yoan Moncada, and now he's heating up. So I'm like, the haters are shaking in their boots.
Yeah, there was a reason that guy was the #1 overall prospect in baseball. It's not as if he lacks talent. Is he Rafael Devers? Maybe not, and maybe DD really hit that one really, really well. But it's not as if saying that this isn't an all-star level player that the White Sox still have. But fans are ridiculous. There's such toxicity in fandom, and it drives me insane. Or just such negativity. Also, I've gotten to a point where I've hit the idea of it's a sport, and it sucks that I've hit that point. Because I used to be insane, but I'm just you know what? And I've also seen 4 World Series championships, so I'm not gonna bitch about how John Henry doesn't want to spend money, especially when they just gave $140 million to frigging Trevor Story. I can't hate ownership for the Mookie Betts situation when I just don't think he wanted to be here. Things like that. I think he just wanted absolutely zero pressure and a shitload of money and to go to a super team, and boom, he did it. There's no pressure in Los Angeles. People don't give a shit. Yeah, there are definitely diehard Dodger fans. I'm not saying that. But as a whole, the city of Los Angeles isn't living, dying, and breathing by the Dodgers. Other sport, how New York does, or how Boston does, or how Chicago does. These people, it's built around that. There's just so much going on. And the idea, Los Angeles is a transient city as well, so they're I don't care. And it's yeah, that must be fun. The sunshine of Los Angeles, there's no pressure, and you're on a super team. Yeah, and there's $365 million in your bank. Yeah, I'm not gonna say no to that too. It's But anyways, we got some. You want to do some trade talks?
Yeah, we can. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if Juan Soto does, because he says he does love being on the Nationals. He loves the city, he's been there forever, blah, blah, blah. But he has rejected a 15-year, $440 million contract extension. It would have been the biggest contract in baseball history, passing 12-year, $426 million that the Angels gave Mike Trout in 2019. So, and this was the third offer that he's rejected.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be there.
And this didn't even include deferred money, which is not typically a thing that the Nationals go for. So they are now open to trade deals. He doesn't go into free agency until after 2024, that season, but they're now open to deals. So I'm wondering who's going to give Juan Soto $500 million.
It has to, literally, it's the Red Sox, the Yankees, or the Dodgers, or the Mets.
Yep.
That's, to me, those are the only 4 teams. And I'm looking at farm system wise, the Dodgers can do it easily. But then the Dodgers have so much money tied up in certain things. The Yankees can do it, but that's goodbye to Judge. Because they're not having Stanton, Judge, and Soto. And honestly, I don't like that. I'd rather Stanton and Judge be there forever rather than Stanton and Soto. That scares me way, way more.
It does.
But the only thing is they'll have to pretty much decimate that farm system. The Red Sox have the system to do it right now, thanks to Chaim Bloom. But shit, you're going to have to give up. Marcelo Meyer, have fun in D.C. That's the starting. That's the first. He's gone. That's not even a question. There's no way you can get Juan Soto and still retain Marcelo Meyer. And if you somehow can, Chaim Bloom should have a statue erected in the middle of on Commonwealth Avenue. Sorry.
Yeah,
I think people will pay Juan what he wants. We're talking about the comparison to Juan Soto's first 4 full seasons are Ted Williams.
Yeah.
It's not even, it's Ted Williams.
Yeah, no, it is. And someone will pay him. I saw something earlier and it was talking about all the teams that were interested in him. And I laughed out loud because somebody was like, oh, the White Sox could be a contender. And I was like, Are you kidding? No, they're not even going to pay Lucas Giolito what he deserves next year. Like
Yeah.
they're not going for Soto.
No, absolutely. And I don't think he's going to be traded. So I agree with the idea of him not going anywhere because I think it's going to be astronomical. And no matter what, like the package could be huge. And I think they still hang up the phone because unless it's like, I don't know, like thinking about the Red Sox and just being like, I don't know. You have to give, to me, you have to take on, the only way you can do it is if you take on Patrick Corbin. And I take Patrick Corbin over Strasburg just for the fact of like, Patrick Corbin is one of the worst pitchers in the game right now.
Yeah.
But the Red Sox have a really, really strong pitching coach in Bush. Bush can maybe figure out something because I'm not taking a chance on Strasburg because he just had that thoracic outlet syndrome and you don't come back from that. You can fix a 32-year-old that kind of sucks. You can maybe work with that and make him serviceable. So to me, the only way you take that on is if you take on Patrick Corbin. And at that point, you're saying goodbye to Marcelo Meyer. You're saying goodbye to Brian Bayo. That's the first two off the top. You're probably also saying goodbye to Alex Verdugo because they're going to want somebody major league ready or Jarren Duran. And if I'm them, I take the idea of Verdugo over Duran. So those three are definitely gone. And then I'm thinking there's at least two more, and they've got to still be bigger names. Like it's not like you're getting some low-level prospect. Like these are going to be huge prospects. These are going to be like top 5 in your system, plus somebody who's major league ready.
Yeah. So I don't see it happening. That again, he's the player that you build your team around. Have a fire sale, keep him. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that one.
It's a lot of money, but like again, if you know what your value is and you don't want to stay there, like it's money that so the idea of people being like, oh, like he's greedy, like if you're going into his job, his numbers are just so different than any of our job numbers. But do you feel that you should take less at your job? No, you don't. You're going to go in and you're going to fight for what you're worth. And right now, he's worth more than that. And he's only 23 years old. So when you see 15, you're like, it's a lot of money. I mean, it's a lot of years, but like, it's not that bad. And if you look back at that, the AAV was under 30 million. So if he's looking and if he's saying I'm more of an AAV guy, or I'm more of like a years guy. At this point at 23, I'd be a years guy just to know that like the next 15 years I'm like locked up. If you give me like 30 something, I mean, it's not that they couldn't keep Max Scherzer. They signed Max Scherzer and then he just left. There was no need to. Max Scherzer did everything for them. I wouldn't have re-signed Max Scherzer. Harper just didn't want to be there either. It's really a matter, and I love the minute he leaves, they win a championship. So it'd be funny if Soto leaves and then they win a championship. Yeah, so it's like, I get, it's not like as if Max was like a product of their environment. Like Zimmerman, Strasburg, and Harper were, and they didn't keep them. Like, but that's also fine. But that was totally Harper, and like thinking his value was more, and now he's stuck in Philadelphia. So
he's not even playing. He got that money and he immediately went to Philadelphia, and they're not good, and he's stuck there for what?
13 years it was, right? So at this point, maybe there's like 10 left.
Yeah, I think it's like 10 or 11 years.
Or a decade, Have fun. I mean, he's been great. He won an MVP, so it's everything they could have wanted. But the team is, I think, 100%. He went to Philadelphia, and if you look at the way his contract is structured, there's deferred money. The AAV isn't that high. I bet he thought Mike Trout was coming.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And then, whoop, and I'm just going to say in SoCal.
Or he might have even thought Chris Bryant was coming.
Because just the way it's structured pretty well to allow for another big free agent name to go in there, for sure, and like to play baseball with him. I was like, I bet he thought he was going to be roaming Philly, the outfield with Mike Trout. But, Mike Trout was like, Mike Trout's apparently way more loyal than half of the players in baseball. And it's sad because I wish he was on a better team.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Speaking of the Angels, the hilariousness of the Yankees reacquired Tyler Wade in a deal with the Angels for a player to be named later or cash. Of course, Wade had spent the first 5 years with the Yankees before being sent to the Angels, who then DFA'd him. So, good on you, Tyler Wade, I guess.
Yeah.
Got some of the nicest eyebrows in baseball. He does.
Oh,
That boy's
also,
brows are on point,
oh yeah, they're beautiful. I wish like I would take a class.
right?
Mine are okay today, but whatever. Speaking of those Yankees, they are no longer interested in Andrew Benintendi after discovering his vaccination status. I guess the Mets are
Don't
still
blame him.
interested, but I mean, yeah, duh. But that kind of perfectly leads into our dumb athletes.
Yep.
Because as many of you heard, the Royals had 10
Oh,
players that were
man.
unable to make the trip to Toronto due to their vaccination requirements. Those players included Whit Merrifield. So they really lost a lot of pitching and a lot of stars for that
Yep.
Toronto trip. So Whit Merrifield, Hunter Dozier, Michael A. Taylor, Andrew Benintendi, Kyle Isbell, Cam Gallagher, MJ Melendez, Brad Keller, Brady Singer, and Dylan Coleman were all off of that trip. Although they still came back and somehow beat the Blue Jays for that first game at least.
I mean, thank you, because I need the Jays to be losing, but shit,
Yeah.
like, how can you have that many people? That is a lot. Like, the Red Sox had a lot. The Red Sox still, the big problem is the big problems. I don't give a shit. Well, and maybe now I give a shit because Cutter Crawford could be in my rotation, but it was Cutter Crawford, Tanner Houck, and then Jarren Duran. And Duran at least came out after, saying his research told him certain things that he was thinking about it because he was pissed about sitting on his ass and doing nothing. Yeah, because it's your team needs you. So Alex Cora has been vocal about, being like, I want to try to get these last few people vaccinated. But like 10, and with your fluky all-star, Andrew Benintendi, him being good, all of this, maybe he's afraid. He's like, oh my God, I'm good again for the first time in like 4 years. Maybe this vaccine, right? Maybe the vaccine will take it all away from me because it makes no sense why he's good, but he's still not as good as people think he is. But anyways, he made the All-Star team. Congratulations. And maybe he's gonna spread COVID to everybody because he's going.
Yeah. Thanks. I mean, thankfully they're on a whole lot of White Sox there right now, but man.
Yeah, and they didn't make Story get signed before. That was that's incorrect. It's not like they were like, we won't sign you unless you get vaccinated, Trevor Story. Xander Bogaerts, who was potentially unvaccinated last year, thought about it over the offseason and realized how selfish he was being, actually had a conversation with Trevor Story about being like, we need you on our team. We need you up in Toronto. And then he thought about it. So it's more not like, oh, we won't sign you if you're not vaccinated. But I don't blame anybody. I don't blame. Also, it's hilarious the Yankees being interested in Andrew Benintendi. I'm sorry. But love it. Love that he's not going to ever wear pinstripes because I'd have to burn all my Benintendi shit. I'm thinking about burning it anyways because he's anti-vax. But
see, I never cared for him.
He's so
because
handsome.
I'm in a division where I need to hate the Royals anyway. And I just kind of found him to be overrated.
Oh, he's totally overrated.
So.
And just, yes. And like, I firmly believe that the way he's playing would never have been able to happen in Boston either. So it's like, good luck to you that you can do it in literally Kansas City. Cool. Yeah. Like, talk about zero pressure, I just always thought he was beautiful. That's it. I stand by it, but he's apparently dumb as shit.
Yeah.
So,
well.
It's unfortunate but 10 of them, whew.
At what point does that become a liability?
Oh, I think it is.
Players.
I'm surprised there hasn't been an outbreak. Like, I'm fully vaccinated, boosted, and I just got COVID from pretty much being at work around a bunch of people. Like, pretty much. And I wear my mask at work, and I still got it. So, like, just think about the extra inherent risk when these guys aren't masked up, and they're like up each other's asses, pretty much in the clubhouse, and 10 of them aren't vaccinated.
Yeah.
It's like almost half your team. That's crazy. Like, hi, Quinn. Love Quinn. Quinn just came in and said hi. Quinn's a good guy. Hi, Quinn.
Hello, Quinn.
Yeah. So it's frustrating that like half of your roster,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I think I'm at the point, though, I think a good reason why I actually got COVID is because I'm past the 6-month window with, and I'm not eligible for the next booster yet. So I think I was just way more susceptible to getting it because, I need my next booster. I want it. Come on, give it to me.
I'm ready for it.
Right? Like, I'm over here being like, and I think, and the numbers in LA are getting up really, really high again, that they're thinking about going mandatory masks inside again. And I think a big thing about it is because those 6 months are like going away and we need our booster again. I think that's a big thing.
It was funny. So when I was in Boston, I took that little day trip to Salem, and they were pretty lax on their mask requirements. I still tried to wear mine, especially if I was inside somewhere. But the only place that actually like required a mask, like you took it off and you were out. They not only required a mask, they required proof of your vaccination, like that you had at least had the 2.
Yeah.
Was the Salem, like the Satanic Temple. And I was like, how weird that like the Satanists are the ones that are like no, you have to do this. You will get kicked out if you're not wearing a mask. And like they check you at the door. They're like, where's your vax card?
There's still in LA for the most part, there's like nothing now. But there are certain bars that still, like there's this one bar that we do trivia at on Wednesdays. And last time I went there, like a few weeks ago, they were still checking vax cards, and they were one of the only places still doing that. And I have no problem with that. When the movie stopped doing it, I was like, oh God. Like, and I'm trying to figure out like where I got COVID from, because I had people at my house like last Sunday, but I was the only person from there that a bunch of them had already had it because it's just going through us. Yeah. So aside from the people that like didn't, that already have it, but the people that didn't have it, like I didn't at that point, I'm the only one that tested positive, and I tested negative on Monday. I felt I was fine. I went to work on Tuesday, and then like Tuesday evening, I was like, I started to feel like I thought I was going to get an ear infection, and I had been in my pool a bunch of times. So I'm like Googling, I was like, is ear pressure a symptom? Is this, that? And it was like, no. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting a damn ear infection. But I tested myself anyways, just to be sure, because I knew I was going to be doing some things. Came back negative. And I'm like, okay, then, oh shit, it's an ear infection. So I should probably get this figured out. So then I go to bed. I wake up at like 4 a.m. with a cough, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I still slept it off for a bit, woke up at 6, and then was super positive. But it's still so strange that it was like negative, and then all of a sudden it was just like, boom, here it is. And I'm like, and it manifested. Then again, I manifest symptoms so strange in like everything I do.
I do too.
So it makes sense that an ear infection would be how I'd manifest COVID,
Right. Oh, well.
But protect yourself, people. And I'm not a person that's like, oh my God, I'm vaccinated and I got COVID. Like, fuck vaccines. No, I'm thankful that like right now, I still feel like I'm probably going to test positive tomorrow, which is going to be unfortunate. And then I won't be able to return to work, until next week. But my main goal is at this point, I just got to be testing negative on Thursday and Friday because I got tickets to see Nope and I got tickets to see Clueless in 35mm. That's my goals.
I saw the Clueless.
Yeah. I was like, this is it. And I feel like by then I'll totally be, because I have virtually no symptoms now. And who knows if I wake up in the morning, if I'm going to be completely symptom free and I'm going to be negative. Like, you never know. It's like the only thing is it's still a little like in here, but I can feel it. It's like more phlegmy. And when things are phlegmy, you're at the end of your sickness, and you just sound gross, but you're like, I feel great. But I felt great for the most part during all of this, which is just so frustrating, because if this weren't so contagious of a thing, this would have been something that like 3 years ago, I've been like, I'm a little sick, but I can go to work.
Yeah. And I mean, that was totally normal back then. Yeah. When I had COVID, it was right, before I didn't have the booster. So it was so good. I was 2 shots in.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt like a really bad sinus infection. And then I was like, okay, well, my first like real thing I'm doing, first concert, and I get COVID. So I guess I'm just going to shut down for another year. But yeah,
it's just frustrating. Or just not being able to know exactly where I got it, or everybody that I was with. Like on Tuesday, I went out, and me and this other kid I work with, we both got it. But then the other person we were with had already just had it. And then the other person we were with is still negative. So this is like the strangest freaking virus. So this is why you need to really protect yourself, people. Like, please just protect yourself. Don't be dumb athletes. But the dumb athletes will lead into some good talk. We could start talking about the All-Star game. The festivities are starting. We got the draft going here. Jose Ramirez is joining the Home Run Derby for the first time in his career. He will try to become the first switch hitter to win the event. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
So we've got him. We've got Julio Rodriguez, who's literally 21 years old. So exciting. Kyle Schwarber, Juan Soto, Albert Pujols, Corey Seager, Acuna Jr., and then, of course, the three-peat. We're trying to go for the three-peat with Pete Alonso. That's stacked.
Who are you favoring for this?
I would love to see Pete Alonso just go and do it again, because I do love that, like, the money that he's like. I don't like money is involved in this now. I don't think it ever used to be, but at least for somebody like him, he's made more money playing in these home run derbies than he has from being a New York Met. So like that's kind of like a fun feel good story. But I don't like that there's just like you already make so much money. We have to like incentivize you more. But I guess maybe that's the only way. Oh yeah, Quinn. We got Quinn being like Kumar at 3 ? Oh yeah, Quinn. We were just chatting about that. Yes, we were. Woo!
Oh man.
I don't know what they're smoking down in Texas.
No. Yeah. I've got Pete Alonso too. My heart is saying Pete Alonso. My brain is saying Kyle Schwarber, but we'll see.
Kyle Schwarber just has easy power. Like, I mean, it's some easy power. That's about all. Like, you get people like Red Sox fans being like, why didn't they go and keep Kyle Schwarber? Because I think they're going to be doing a lot of things this offseason with sign endeavors and figuring out money that would have just won money or tying to it. And if you really look outside of the home runs, his on base, like JD's on base is still better. He's fine. He's not great. It's not like, but so many people get caught up in like, look at that home run. Oh my God. And you're just like, oh, yeah. Oh, well, Quinn wants us to sell. So.
No, the Nationals need to sell.
Yeah. Oof.
All right. What else do we have? So, yeah. This is maybe good news, maybe, I don't know, but the concession workers were planning on, striking during the All-Star game. But I guess the union representing the workers at Dodger Stadium agreed not to strike now.
Okay.
And, it's like during the game and the related events, they said the local union and concessionaire Compass Group and its subsidiary Levi Restaurants have made what the union said is substantial progress in contract negotiations. So hopefully that is good, and this is what the union wanted. It was unclear of what their demands were, but hopefully they're getting theirs, because that's a busy event.
Yes.
And I don't really blame them at all as a very pro-union person. So
yeah, it's funny. The job I have, we're not union, but we have so many people being like, why aren't you union? And like we joke, we're like, should we unionize? Like if we like walked out and picketed, like honestly, it's the infrastructure of our program would shit itself.
Yeah.
So a part of me is like, because what they do, some excellent pay. Well, that's good. At least clearly the Dodgers people still feel like they are not being paid nearly enough, and they should be, because them Dodger dogs are fucking expensive. Holy shit! It makes Fenway look cheap. Like it's like $19 for a beer. I've never paid close to that at Fenway. I'm like, I like literally was just like, I stayed sober the whole damn game. I like looked at my mom. I'm like, I'm not having a beer at all. Like
I think the most I've ever paid for a beer is $13.
Yeah, which is still outrageous. But you're like, oh, okay, I get it. 19. And they're like, it's a tall boy. I'm like, I don't care. $19. Do you know how much beer I could get for $19?
Yeah. I got one of the like bougiest sour beers at a White Sox game, and it was still only $13.
Yeah, and like here it's like 19 for like a Bud Light.
Yeah.
Like I could literally get a 24-pack of like Bud Light for $19.
You want a tall boy PBR for $19?
Like really, I'm just like, oh God, that's just absolutely crazy. But then some more All-Star game news. Your boy Liam Hendricks was added to the All-Star game. He's replacing Justin Verlander, who was unable to pitch after starting yesterday. Ooh, Jesus. Well, that's not good for Verlander.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so like, I guess, I mean, it's more like, yeah. So you're not going to go just because but you live in LA, dude. Just go. But I guess it's more like, well, I guess like, well, I'll just let somebody else take it. It's like, all right. It's like a lot of people not going. And is it them being like, I don't want to get COVID? Because like, I see all of them people from Kansas City coming.
Cindy will be there. A lot of them, I mean, a lot of people were just because they just recently pitched.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I'm
usually
pretty
they
sure.
go.
Yeah.
Like, even
I'm
if they
not
don't. Is he
totally
not going to
sure
go?
why Garrett Cole's not going, but Jordan Romano replaced him.
Yeah, that's weird too. And people, they were like making fun of it. They're like, isn't he from LA? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, the boy grew up in like, he's more down down in Orange County, but like, yeah, like he's here, so it's weird. I
Because
don't
he's a
know.
bitch.
Yeah, well, we know that. I'm all for emotional men, but because I don't like Garrett Cole, one of the funniest things I find is that when UCLA lost in the College World Series and he like cried. Like weeped.
Yeah.
And I hate like I don't like him, and then of course I hate Trevor Bauer for just other reasons. At least Garrett Cole isn't a fucking rapist. That we at least know of. But him crying, the juxtaposition of him bawling, and then it just goes to Trevor Bauer, and Bauer was like literally, I was just like, oh my God, these are just night and day right now.
They're a mess.
Yeah, he went to UCLA. So it's strange that you think he'd be excited about like your hometown having the All-Star game. But I don't know. Maybe you just want to be with the wife and the baby. Like, that's fine too. I can't fault you on that. Like, at all, in the slightest.
We've got Devin Williams.
Oh yeah, Max Fried, another. Did Fried get hurt, or is he just not going either? Or just no LA guys? That's another LA dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just want to go hang out with their family in LA.
Maybe they do. They're just not like, yeah.
They're just taking some time off. Yep. And then Ty France was added, and Byron Buxton replaced Mike Trout, which we discussed earlier. He's been having some back spasms, which me too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. He did pitch today, but at the same time, you think like you still go. You can just say like, you don't pitch me. Like, I would know not to pitch you. Like, I don't know, just go and enjoy it. Like, it's an honor, and it seems like it's a fun time. But I mean, yeah, if you just want to spend time with your family, like, again, cannot fault you for that.
No.
All right, so we got some. The Rays snapped the random 10-game winning streak of the Baltimore Orioles. 5-4 win. They rallied on Friday night. Yeah, how are the Orioles good? Question mark.
I don't know, but I'm for it.
Oh, I mean,
and the best part is they still got the number 1 draft pick today.
Yeah, they just added Jackson Holiday to their team while going on this crazy streak. I mean, crazier things have happened. They're in my division, so I don't want it, especially when the Red Sox suck. I don't want the Orioles being close to you, like, because that's how you know you're just really shitty. But I don't know. But yeah, so that's good for the Orioles. Like, we'll see what the second half brings for all teams, really.
Yeah,
it'll
be a fun second half, I think.
Oh yeah.
I will take this one because I know how much. I mean, we both hate him, but Aaron Judge has tied Roger Maris for most home runs by a Yankee before the All-Star break. Judge did reach number 33 yesterday, and this was in place. Roger had set the mark during his 1961 season when he recorded a then single season record with 61 home runs. And his final tally still stands with both AL and Yankees records. So,
Imagine if he breaks that record and then goes to San Francisco.
That would be so wild. I kind of want it to happen, though.
I kind of want him to break the record. The Yankees get their asses handed to them in like the DS, and then he goes to San Francisco. That, to me, chef's kiss.
That would
chef's
be.
Kiss. I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. So we got the Mariners beat the Rangers in extras for 13 straight wins. So them Mariners, shit.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they really are good. I mean, I hate how good the Yankees are, but I'm waiting for that one team.
It's gonna fall.
Said, watch the Nats trade Soto. There's no way that they're going to long-term Judge and trade for Soto. That's not happening, because then you have to get rid of somebody, because you're not having Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and Giancarlo Stanton. Like, you're just not. Like, that's 4 people that, like, 3, 6, 9, that's like 150 million plus, maybe 60, 70, just in 4 guys. No way that happens.
Yeah, that's would crazy. Be stupid.
That'd be crazy. I'd love it, though, because then I'd love for them just to still not win. Like, spend all your money and still not win, but,
So, speaking of Other great dudes. Justin
Mm-hmm.
Verlander collected his MLB leading 12th win yesterday
Jesus,
as the
makes no sense.
Astros shut out the A's. He is 39. He missed 2 years, almost 2 years from Tommy John surgery, but he did take a moment to appreciate his success a bit more. You kind of realize that you take a lot of things for granted when you're gone for nearly 2 years, and with that kind of injury, there we go. So good for him. I hate the Astros, but I'll always root for Verlander.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I love how, like, it's not that, like, people come back from Tommy John, but, like, people don't come back this good from Tommy John, like, instantly. He had, like, no hiccups.
Yeah,
Like,
and
aside
at
from
that
Sale
age too.
yeah, at that age, like, Sale got smashed in the finger today, so, like, we can't even really say what it was, and, like, but even, like, post Tommy John for him, there was an adjustment period for when he did pitch in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And now this motherfucker's probably gonna win the friggin' Cy Young. And I'm
Oh
over
yeah.
here swearing because it's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. How are you this good? And why are you on the Astros? I hate it.
Yeah, of all
Yeah.
teams to be on.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know if this is what it's the idea of, like, get rid of Soto and then the Nats sign Judge. Yeah, it's not happening. The Washington Nationals are not paying Aaron Judge what Aaron Judge wants. Yeah, Nate had 2 Tommy Johns, not at the age of 39 though. Like,
he's still pretty young.
yeah, he's not even, I think he's just 30. And his first one was in college. And there was
Mhm.
still an adjustment period. And he's not Justin Verlander. Like Evaldi's good, but, like, he's not Justin Verlander good.
Yeah, Verlander has his own special breed.
Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy because Verlander's, like, literally aged better. There was a time in his prime where he kind of wasn't great. So it's funny. But for young studs out there, Tristan McKenzie of the Guardian struck out a career-high 12 and blanked the Tigers over 8 innings to extend his scoreless streak to 21 on Thursday. God damn it, that pitching factory in
I
Cleveland.
know.
I hate
I
it.
know.
Like, how?
I don't get it. He's so good. He's so fun to watch,
And
too.
he's so damn skinny, too.
I
The
know.
skinny dude's just, like, throwing gas.
Tall, lanky boy. He's
Yeah.
like a better Chris Sale at this point.
Oh, yeah. Like, well, we can never deny that when Chris Sale was in his prime, that was one of the best pitches in the game.
Oh,
but, like,
easily, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just like Tommy John and sneezing and breaking a rib, things like that.
And stuff,
Yeah, I love how he punches something and nothing happens to him, but friggin' Aaron Hicks smashes a ball off his finger, and that's what breaks it. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, really? Oh, I hate it. It frustrates me. But you got some Reds news.
Yeah. So they took the series from the Yankees on Thursday.
Red Sox can't do that. But
no,
the Reds can.
The Reds will be the team that breaks the Yankees, apparently. So Joey Votto lined into a tie-breaking double in a 3-run 10th inning for his second go-ahead hit of the night. So love me some Joey Votto.
Who doesn't love Joey Votto?
I love how the Reds are apparently the Yankees' kryptonite.
Get it?
Totally wild, but yeah, they're coming back. They've been good.
Yeah. Oh, we got a question from Quinn saying, when would you say Sale's prime ended? That's tough because, like, I'd say 2018, like that final out of, like, that World Series, and it was just like, ooh, since then. But maybe it was midway through 18. But then it's like it's tough because it's been injury laden. It's like his prime was really, 10 quit. Yeah. Votto did become 10 times funnier when he started tweeting and TikToking.
He's the best.
Yeah. But yeah, with Sale, it's so difficult because it's like these injuries have really it took away his prime. Like, really, it took away. And I was hoping that, like, this season was going to be like, of course, you're not expecting vintage Chris Sale because he's, like, on the wrong, quote unquote, the wrong side of 30. But then again, what is the wrong side of 30, Justin Verlander? So it's really tough to say. Because he's about 8 years younger than Justin Verlander. Because I think Sale's maybe Sale's 30, maybe Sale's 32. I think he might be my age. So at least 7 years younger than, Justin Verlander. So it's crazy.
Let's see how old he is.
I think he might be 32, maybe almost 33, because I think he's a little
33.
bit older.
He just
turned 33. Okay, so he's a few months older than me. So still 6 years, like about 6 years less than Justin Verlander. And Verlander's just out pitching everybody, as is like somebody like Max Scherzer. Like these guys. So I don't know if it's like, I don't know. It's so tough to be like, well, when did it end? Do we think he could ever get it back? This season, it's going to suck because like he just broke his damn hand.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I think 2018 is probably right. I mean, he's never going to be vintage White Sox Chris Sale.
All right, we'll see you, Quinn. Quinn's heading off to get some food. Thank
Bye.
you for joining us.
John Stockton retired at 40 in NBA because he liked short, not because his body failed, but he did 4 chiropractic. Oh, I wish I could do 4 chiropractic visits on game day.
I would love that too. Just have people. I'd love it. I'd love it.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
But then, speaking of older, but Clayton Kershaw's also not as old as we think he is. He's just been around
really
forever. Clayton Kershaw took a perfect game into the 8th against the Angels because he's Clayton Kershaw. Broken up by a Luis Verigno. What is it? Renhefo? I think that's how they pronounce it.
I think so, yeah.
Renhefo with a double to open the bottom of the 8th. Like, shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, what are we talking about? Is he 34. 34. I love how it just literally feels, because I think he came up at, like, 19. So he's just been in this game for so long that you just assume he's like Verlander's age, and you're like, no, he's not. Or he's just dealt with back issues. So you're just assuming that he's older than he is because his body's failed him more than somebody else's has, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, yeah, so I think we could talk about this. What? Charlie Montoya getting shit-canned. I was kind of shocked by that.
And... yeah, I put in the notes. Jeff Passan he tweeted out, they were just 1.5 games back. So if the playoffs would happen that day, they'd be in it. In like that top of the wild card spot for the American League.
Yeah, and the question is, you said Bo Bichette came out and said, so what the hell was going on in the clubhouse that, like, I don't think you're suddenly going to be great. It's kind of like when they shit can John Madden, like, oh my God, the Angels still suck.
Yeah.
Like, I think the problem is the big problem for everybody is the Yankees are playing so out of their damn goddamn minds. And that is putting everything else into a weird perspective. That it's like, oh, we suck. You'd be leading divisions with the records that you have. The Yankees have just been out, like, playing. Matt Carpenter and his pedophile mustache being good after being legitimate dog shit for 2 seasons.
Sorry, the pedophile mustache, it just caught me off guard.
It literally looks like it, though. I'm like, does he pass out candy from his band? Keep your children away. Like, my God. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. And it's just...
meanwhile, Tony La Russa still has a job.
Yeah. Crazy. Right. Everybody else is getting fired for doing a good job. But apparently... I'm thinking these players have such control in certain areas, unless you're obviously like Tony La Russa, where the owner just loves you so much that it's like, if we just don't like you, we're just going to get rid of you. Like that happened literally, I think, in 2017, whereas like Aaron Judge and a bunch of the other Yankees were like, you know what? We just don't really like Girardi. Girardi got you almost to the World friggin' Series.
I would take Joe Girardi any day.
Yeah, and I think it happened again. And it's not like suddenly without Joe Girardi that like the Phillies are great. No, like it's just, I don't know. Sometimes these players have too much control over people. And like that, the players are going to always love Alex Cora because Alex Cora is loyal to a fault. And it gets him in trouble a lot, but the players love him. So if the ownership gets a little pissed, that's the only way that, Alex Cora is going to get fired. It's never going to be the players are going to not like Alex Cora. The players love Alex Cora. I don't know who Carp is. It's a Carp swing. Looks like Belongers.
That's probably Matt Carpenter.
Oh.
Looks like Bellinger's swing.
Oh, yeah. Matt Carpenter, I have like no idea how he's good again. Like it makes no sense. But you put on them pinstripes and you just get like superpowers. Everybody's like, Matt Carpenter's playing over his head. How the hell did, Anthony Rizzo suddenly play like 25-year-old Anthony Rizzo again? Like, how is, speaking of other creepy mustaches, how is Nestor Cortez good? Like, things like, how did Jameson Taillon pitch well yesterday after being terrible for most of this season? Like, it's like, a part of me is really hoping that like they just won so much already that it's like even if they come down to earth, like they're gonna be fine going into the playoffs. But like I'm just really hoping that this is all gonna sort of come down to earth because it doesn't make sense. Like everything is happening right for them, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Like I hate it. It's frustrating. But anyways, let's move on from my frustrations. Yeah. Do you want to go about Genesis Cabrera?
Yeah, we could talk about his frustrations, I guess. So Genesis Cabrera, Friday night during the Reds game, I actually did kind of catch a little bit of this. He slammed the ball into the mound and was very clearly frustrated when Oliver Morel was trying to remove him from the game. He did give up consecutive singles to begin the 9th inning, so that's not great. I mean, they still won the game, and our dear veteran Albert Pujols was like, "Hey, maybe you should go apologize to everybody because your behavior was very childlike." So good for him for being that like great veteran player. Like, get out there. You made an ass of yourself. Say you're sorry.
I mean, I guess it's better than chucking it all the way out of the outfield. I will say, hate Trevor Bauer, but that was an impressive throw. How the fuck? I can't even throw it like 60 feet, let alone I made the all the way into the outfield. Like shit. Like incredible, but maybe don't do shit like that. So yeah, I mean, it's good that you have people that can sort of get these people in check. Like, and that's not even a let the kids play. That's like, no. Just there's shit you shouldn't do, and then there's shit you should do. You should be able to have as much fun as you want while playing this game. But maybe don't show up your manager by smashing a ball into the ground.
Hey, we can end this with some good news.
Yes, let's do it.
So our minor leaguers are getting paid. Woo!
Finally.
MLB has agreed to pay them $185 million to settle a class action lawsuit brought by minor league players over unpaid wages. This began nearly 8 years ago. So I mean, there's a lot of minor leaguers that are about to get paid. They said they expect about 20,000 players to receive checks from this settlement. So, I mean, awesome.
That is great. That is so good.
I don't know what the breakdown is for, how much these players are going to be getting, but it's just good to know because that is one of the biggest issues in baseball is how little teams and MLB in general care about their minor leaguers.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that we can finally be paying like a living wage to these people. I mean, that's something as simple as that. Should they be making gazillions of dollars in the minors? No. But should they be making a living wage? Absolutely. Absolutely.
They shouldn't be sharing a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 guys. They shouldn't have to be Ubering on the side. Those are not.
I can't get over that.
Those are. I mean, we all read that story. That's not a heartfelt story. That is an embarrassing.
Yes, absolutely.
Story.
Absolutely, I could not agree more. Yeah. Absolutely. But so that's some good news. That's a little bit what's going on this week in our sport of baseball. We've got the draft is going right now. We've got the home run derby coming up. We've got the All-Star game. So it's going to be a lot of fun going on. And then the second half that I hope is better for our Sox.
Yes. Well, Dylan Cease did great today for my Sox. They ended up winning 11-0 and winning the series against the Twins, which was much needed. Also, I would still like to say that Dylan Cease was in fact snubbed.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Literally the best. He surpassed Chris Sale today with the most, with 500 strikeouts.
For the White Sox? That's great.
Yeah, he took it out. I think, I'm trying to remember what the actual innings were, because I just wrote about it today. Where was it? Give me 1 second.
Take your time.
Just wrote about it, and I already forgot the innings.
It's a Sunday. I know.
I've been so busy today. I'm recording another podcast probably later tonight too.
Oh
So, you know,
God, you're just spent. I'm sorry.
it's all right. Yeah, so he became the first or the fastest pitcher
Fastest.
in White Sox history to collect 500 career strikeouts. He
Nice.
surpassed Chris Sale's 472 and a third innings pitched today by completing the accomplishment in 394 and 2/3 innings pitched.
Well,
So
congrats to Dylan Cease.
it's my boy, power of the mustache.
Yes, he
And
looks good with a mustache, though. He
he
doesn't
does.
look like he passes candy from a van.
Hey,
So
he's adorable, and I love
That's
him. And
good.
he's the biggest snub in the All Stars.
I know. So hopefully, Garrett Cole gets to go though. So don't you worry. Or does he get to? He's not going.
No, he's not
Yeah.
going now.
I know, it's crazy. Crazy. All right, well, that's this week's Soxy Chicks. So we will check you all next week. So be good, people.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.